Glendilen, and we're gonna be talking about some movies. So hey guys, JamesMCD Reviews here. I'm here with Anne, or Glendilen, my girlfriend. I love her so much. We're doing another Ketchup review, and these are all movies that we have actually seen together, so it works out perfectly.
And then we just haven't made time to review them.
Yeah.
Because we forgot.
Yeah, we get distracted anyway. But yeah, so these are, we're going to be going over these in order that we saw them. Feel free to let us know what your thoughts on any of these movies are down in the comments. But for right now, let's get into some reviews, starting off with Godzilla, King of Monsters. This was the, I guess, kind of sequel to the Godzilla movie that came out in 2014, and also continuation of Kong Skull Island, because they kept bringing that movie up. I wasn't really expecting much out of this, were you?
I feel like I did, but I don't know why. Because, you know, most of those kind of movies go the same way. It's big monsters fighting each other.
Right.
And is this a spoiler review or a non-spoiler review?
It's been out for a long enough time. You can spoil shit. I don't care.
I'm trying to remember if I don't think there was even anything to spoil.
There's really not, like, a lot of the... Oh, interruptions. Hello?
I'm here.
All right, I'll be out, right out.
Well, while James went out to get food, I'd just like him to know that I love him very much, and he's probably gonna find this edited while he's editing this video.
You didn't do anything while I was gone, did you?
I talked shit while you were gone.
There's nothing really to spoil. Like, everything that you see in the trailer and that you think might happen pretty much happens. Like, it's such a, like, cookie-cutter generic story with some really, like, stupid plot-related things, like the mom being evil for a short period of time and then, like changing her mind or something.
It's like that, like the whole plot mechanic where, like, the person thinks they're doing something correct. And see,
Yeah.
what the thing is, I say this, and then, like, I'm looking at Thanos' truck over there, and I'm like, Thanos literally thought he was doing a good thing.
Yes, but Thanos was a compelling character, and these are not compelling characters. They're the most generic, boring, like,
You don't even know where she
copy-paste.
comes from.
Yeah, like, the acting was fine. I mean, like, Millie Bobby Brown was, you know, she's really great, and she was really good in that. Yeah, she was the daughter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and, you know, the Ken Watanabe is good, and the woman playing the mother was alright, and all the other actors were pretty alright, but, like, their characters are just so stale and bland and boring and just nothing. I don't remember shit about them. So,
It's, like, not very memorable. It's just another Godzilla movie.
And, I mean, there were some parts that were really funny, just, like, for how stupid and ridiculous they were. And, you know, the action, like, admittedly is really cool. You know, it's, if you are a Godzilla fan, you're definitely gonna get a lot out of it, because, you know, it's really loud and has a bunch of big explosions and, like, cool, and, you know, giant monsters crashing into shit.
They do look cool.
It does look cool. I mean, it's obviously, you know, CGI, and it never looks realistic, but, you know, it is still impressive. And I do like that they bring in, they add a little bit of, like, fan service by bringing in all the other monsters or whatever. And it's looking like they're gonna have King Kong in the next one, so that could be better, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like the only reason people are still going to these Godzilla movies is just for the action, and the plot is just kind of a side thing, which really sucks, but because I feel like you could do this story a lot more interesting, but what can you do? So, yeah, that was it for Godzilla. What would you give it out of 5?
Oh gosh, I don't want to say a 3 out of 5 because I feel like it could definitely be better. So, a 2.5 out of 5 maybe?
I would say 3. I mean, it was like, it wasn't, like, anger-inducing. It wasn't completely boring. But it wasn't anything where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to watch this again. I'm gonna buy this on Blu-ray and watch it every night until I die. No, it's just like, I saw it, it was mildly entertaining, and I never have to see it again. It's one of those, basically.
I get that.
So next up is RocketMan. All right.
RocketMan.
There alone. Next
Notice
up,
I don't have the words in my head.
the Elton John musical biopic starring Taron Egerton, and the movie that I already want to win all of the awards when Oscar season comes out. I was really excited for this movie because I love biopics, I love Taron Egerton, and I love musicals, and just all those things mixed together, and as well as the trailer and the visual style that they were going for, I was like, oh my god, I cannot wait to see this, and it did not disappoint. Like, this is already gonna make it on my top 10 movies of 2019. I just loved it so much. What did you think of it?
I totally agree with you. Like, it has a good story, it has a good, I guess, lesson. Don't drink. do drugs and then go to therapy. Leave your concert.
Just like walk out of a concert, go to therapy uninvited with no appointment, and just talk about your problems for a few days, and everything will get better.
Talk to yourself in the room.
Are you going to hug me? But no, like, seriously, it was a very good movie, and I know there are going to be a lot of comparisons to Bohemian Rhapsody, right? Because they are very similar, right down to them both having the same director.
Really?
Yeah, and you know, they do share very similar stories, but this one, I would say, is better. For one, and they are very different stories. For one, Elton's story has a much happier ending than Freddie Mercury's story.
Lots of gay sex.
Yes, there is a lot of gay sex, which I do have to mention. I'll get back to the other like reasons I like the movie in a second, but I like that one of the things that I didn't really like about Bohemian Rhapsody that I neglected to mention in my review was the fact that it was PG-13. And I felt like you could have done so much more and gone into even more detail and been really, you know, like raw and hard-hitting about it if it was an R. But, you know, with that like PG-13 crutch on it, it kind of restricts it in a way, and it doesn't allow it to go all out and be like super memorable and emotionally effective. Whereas with this, you know, like, they show you like in really great detail, you know, like Elton's home life and, you know, his relationship and how that took a turn, and how, you know, he was going into like suicidal depression and, you know, overdosing and drinking too much and all this other stuff, and it's really tough to watch, and I think part of that like comes out in Taron Egerton's performance. He gives a really good performance as Elton, and he does his own singing, which is another knock towards Bohemian Rhapsody. Rami Malek, as good as his performance was, he did not do his own singing, whereas Taron Egerton did, and he sounds really close.
He does.
Yeah. What did you think of, you know, the story and how it compares to Bohemian Rhapsody? Which one did you like more?
If I'm being honest, I can't remember completely. It's been a couple months.
Yeah, I know. It's hard, but like.
But from what I can remember, I liked that it was a musical.
Yeah.
I'm a huge sucker for like musical movies. You know, even if they're not good, I'll watch them a bunch of times if they do it right, you know? And, like, they had his songs, they had some other songs that they, well, no, I don't remember if they were, because I don't follow Elton John much.
Well, what I like is, they were all Elton John songs, but they weren't, like, again, going back to Bohemian Rhapsody, where, Bohemian Rhapsody was literally just basically a concert movie. Like, the musical sequences were all, you know, just like, they were done in universe, like, they were done, like, if they were recording a song or, you know, performing it live on stage, or, like, you know, the big Live Aid concert at the end, all that stuff, but all that happened, like, within the movie's universe, whereas this is a full-fledged musical. Like, even outside of concert performances, characters will break into song, and it's glorious, it's beautiful, it's so well done, and the fact that it being very like fanciful and, you know, fictionalized, even though it is, you know, based on a true story, the fact of it having those, you know, sort of like fantastical elements, allows it to be a lot more visually pleasing, which again is something that Bohemian Rhapsody kind of lacked in.
You know, like in the beginning when he's singing, like going out into the street as a little kid.
Exactly.
Like it kind of gives you like a look into his background,
right?
Without like, you know, delving into it too much.
I really like all the song numbers. I like the costume design. I think I don't mention it enough in my reviews, but you know, there is a lot of hard work that goes into the costume design. You know, there was a lot of that in Bohemian Rhapsody, recreating all of Freddie Mercury's like really outrageous and colorful outfits. And here they stepped it up even further. I love every single costume that Taron Egerton wears as Elton John. All of them were great and so well done. Whoever designed those, give them an award. Give this whole movie an award.
Like you get to see the images at the end too, and like they match it really well.
Yeah, they got it really close. And you know, it's really emotional and you know, a great story, great performances all around, great song numbers. Just
Didn't you tear up the first time you saw it?
I did get really teary-eyed. But I'm gonna be so mad if this does not get, even if it doesn't get nominated for anything, I'm gonna be really mad because like Bohemian Rhapsody, like I like that movie fine, but this one is so much more superior that if it doesn't get any award nominations and Bohemian Rhapsody did, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be mad.
You're like messaging me in the middle of the night again, and
like, babe, what is going on? Okay, but no, I really enjoyed the movie. If it's still out in your area and you haven't seen it already, I would highly recommend it. One of the best movies of this year, and you know, just another great biopic musical.
And like you really sympathize with Elton as a character too. Like everybody's good in their role.
Right. So yeah, no real big complaints about the movie. I can't recommend it enough. If I had to rate it, I would probably give it either a 4.5 or a 5 out of 5.
4.5.
What would you give? 4.5?
4.5 out of 5, I think.
I'm gonna try and see if I can remember anything about this next one. We went and saw the new Shaft movie.
I actually really enjoyed that one.
Which is a sequel to the 2000 movie called Shaft, which was a sequel to the 1970s movie also called Shaft. They need to come up with better titles because this is getting confusing. But yeah, we saw the new Shaft movie with Samuel L. Jackson and friends, and it was decent. I should preface this by saying I did not see the other two Shaft movies going into this. I don't know if seeing the other two would have made me like this movie more or if it would have just annoyed me more. The movie was, again, like I said about Godzilla, it was mildly enjoyable. I thought there were some really funny parts. The action was pretty cool. Samuel L. Jackson was hilarious. The kid playing Junior or whatever was really good and charismatic. And it was a pretty decent story. And I like that they got the grandpa guy who was the original Shaft. But I mean, apart from that, like, it was just like, if you took the Shaft name off of it, it would just be generic action comedy number 70.
It would.
There's nothing really special about it except for the name. What did you think of it?
I really enjoyed it. It made me laugh. Maybe it's because of my humor and like it doesn't take a lot to make me happy. You make me laugh a couple of times. I'm like, yeah, good movie.
Which, I mean, I'm not saying the humor wasn't bad. It was just like there were some jokes that worked better than others. Some that were just like kind of went on for too long and stuff like that.
I get that. It was enjoyable for me. I liked watching it. I think everything. I think it was pretty good. That's what I have to say.
Okay. Yeah. There's nothing really to talk about. You know, like I said, if you took the Shaft name off of it, it wouldn't be anything very special. So, not the best, not the worst. Take it for what it is. I'd probably give it like 3 out of 5. What would you say?
3.5 out of 5.
3.5? Okay.
It's not memorable, but it is enjoyable for me.
So, next up is the new Child's Play movie. I should mention that we saw this together literally the day after me and my mom saw Toy Story 4. Oddly enough, they are very similar. They're both about toys with an owner named Andy, and they are wanting to make their owner happy and get played with, and it just so happens that one is much more fucked up than the other. I really liked this movie. I thought it was enjoyable. I like that it didn't really try to take itself too seriously. I should preface this by saying I haven't seen the other Chucky movies or Child's Play movies, so going into this without having to compare it to any of the other ones was pretty nice. And I feel like for this, I'm glad that it did its own thing. It was a good update. I like that instead of I don't know much about Chucky, but I do know that the original had a serial killer do some sort of like voodoo ritual that like put his brain or soul into a doll or whatever, and that's how he is alive or whatever. But I like that this one is just like a remote control or computerized doll who some, I guess, Vietnamese sweatshop worker just gets pissed off.
He just snaps and like, we're gonna fuck someone's day up by switching this doll.
Yeah,
Hopefully you're not gonna start an uprising.
Just as a revenge plot, just
Who
reprogram.
has the power to? Yes, you were gonna say like
just
reprograms
reprograms all the doll settings
riot.
so that it's like safety features and like language features are off or something like that. I really like that update, and especially with, you know, like the whole like modern day like obsession with technology and how everything has to connect to one thing.
It's like a modern day look at Chucky.
Yeah, it is real. It was a really good update, and you know, it's really funny, and it also is really creepy at points. Mark Hamill playing yet another villain role. He did a really good job voicing the Buddy doll. He was really creepy, but also kind of like earnest in the way, like you oddly enough kind of sympathize with the doll in some areas.
But he just wanted to make Andy happy.
Yeah.
Listen, the cat was pissing him off.
And like, I really like, you know, really like the fact that of it being a computerized doll makes it even more creepy, because like there will be times in the movie where Andy will say something like, I guess like his stepdad or whatever will be like annoying him or pissing him off, and he'll be like, God, I wish that guy would just go away, and then Chucky will like murder him.
Like, okay.
Will just murder him in some brutal fashion, and then when Andy finds out, he's like, no, what did you do? And then he will replay Andy's what Andy said back to him. Like, that's really messed up.
And then like later on, he leaves the head in the room. He woke up, walks by, and then comes back over, and he's like, oh shit.
That was crazy.
The doll keeps coming back. It was a really gory movie, and like,
yeah.
As I was watching it too, like I was like sitting there like with my eyes covered, and oh my god! And the next movie, I'm gonna fucking
I'm not really that bothered by gore. I mean, like, not too much. I mean, you're talking to a guy that has seen every single Saw movie and laughed at it. But even here, like, there were some parts where I was like, oh my god. Like the bit with
I know what's happening here.
Like the bit with the fat guy and the saw blade.
Jack Black looking guy.
Yeah. It was really entertaining. I thought the actors were great. Aubrey Plaza as the mom is hilarious. There's some really satisfying deaths. There's a nice suspenseful climax with a bunch of other sentient dolls and like killer drones and shit. It was really good, and like I said, it doesn't try to take itself too seriously, but
it's like self-aware of
yeah,
how it is.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on it? What do you think of it?
I think they played their characters really well. You know, they connected with each other, and yeah.
So yeah, definitely really good, really funny. I mean, it was from the producers of It, so it's gonna have a nice sense of humor. And yeah, I'm really curious to see if they continue it from here, if we get another string of Chucky sequels. So I would give this a 4 out of 5. What about you?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5? Okay.
You are my buddy. You are my friend. My bestest buddy. You're my best friend.
And finally, the whole reason that we did this video,
Was to make a joke.
was it? Yeah, 2 days ago, right?
2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago. We went to see Crawl, the new disaster crocodile alligator movie. It's basically it's this girl who's like a professional like athletic swimmer who is like driving around during a hurricane trying to find her dad, and she ends up in this crawl space with a bunch of alligators cornering them, and it's basically them trying to get to the surface and get rescued before they either drown or get eaten by alligators. When I saw the trailers for this movie, it looked like absolute ass. And in some areas, it still kind of is. Like,
It looked like your average animal tries to kill person movie, and they have to escape within a certain amount of time before this event happens.
Right. Like, it's basically like every shark movie that you've ever seen, but instead of sharks, it's alligators. So, you know, like, you're not expecting Shakespeare here, but, you know, still, it was enjoyable. It was definitely a fun time.
Lots of jump scares.
Yeah, there were, like, this could literally be called Alligator Jump Scares, the movie. Like, every other, like, second, it's like... Like, there are some other problems with the movie that I had personally.
Like, there's a lot of moments where you're sitting there, you're like, what the fuck are you actually doing?
Like, from the...
Lots of moments like that.
Like, since the beginning of time, like, horror movie victims have been, like... destined to be really stupid, but like here they make some dumb decisions. Like she tries to go after her phone, but she takes like this really long and elaborate way.
Well, see, she took that way because he said that it was safer.
Well, I mean, but it probably would have been quicker if she just like went straight ahead and then went back the way she. And
she actually pauses when she gets her phone too. She's like, "I'm gonna call 911 right here."
You wait until after you've gotten to the safe zone and then you call 911. What the fuck?
We were both sitting there like, "What the fuck are you doing? The alligator is right there."
Yeah, and there are also some really like logical and like plot related things like. Listen, I get it. I know she's an athletic swimmer, and I know part of the, you know, story revolves around her being like, oh, I don't know if I'm really good enough. I don't know if I can actually do this.
Well, now you gotta be good.
And then I guess the disaster helps her, like, get the courage and the energy to try and be better and stuff like that. But how, even if you are an athletic swimmer, and even if you are that good, how can you outswim or outrun a, like, 40-something alligator? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
This giant monster alligator, by the way.
Yeah. Like, and also, like, these motherfuckers get bitten in, like, you know, obviously no vital organs, but...
If you get bitten by an alligator, you're gonna die.
Yeah,
they're gonna take your limb, twist your arm.
Yeah, they get bitten in the leg, in the arm, and they get, like, twisted around like they're fucking rag dolls, and yet they still come out of this alive. Like, it's like, how does that work? It's like, oh, just a flesh wound.
Regeneration.
Regenerate. Instant respawn.
We can't die, we're the main character.
But, I mean, you know, there are a lot of problems with that. The jump scares are really obnoxious.
There was one jump scare where, like, I don't know if I'm probably not gonna spoil anything, but like something happens and like he fucking like grabbed my side and it scared me even more.
Yeah, like the alligator was coming and I was just like, ugh. And but yeah, like there are a lot of like really stupid things in the movie and some really laughable moments, but I mean, overall it was, you know, enjoyable. It was funny. It was entertaining. I thought the acting was pretty good for, like, you know, this type of movie. The actors are kind of hit and miss, but I feel like they did a really good job. The story, while, like, cliched as hell, was still, you know, engaging. I wasn't, you know, bored watching it. they do a really good job building suspense. Even when you see a jump scare coming, it still manages to get you every. I thought the visual effects could have been better, but I mean, for the budget, this was probably the best they could do. You know, like, it's not nearly as bad as like something like Sharknado, but you know, it's nothing super impressive or Oscar worthy.
Sharknado is a real movie.
Yeah. Did you not know that was a real movie?
I've heard of it. I always forget it exists. It feels like something that's like a joke.
They made like 5 of them.
Oh my god.
But yeah, what did you think of the movie, like, overall?
Like you said, it's not original. It's nice for what the budget is. It's enjoyable. You know, there's some laughable moments, and Florida man shoots gun at a hurricane. So overall, it was a good movie. It's not completely memorable, but it's, you know, you go there, you see it, you enjoy it, and then you go on with your life.
Basically everything she said.
You can probably see. I literally compared it to Get Out when, like after we saw it, I was like, I literally saw a movie just like this, except with a blind guy.
But yeah, like, it's nothing spectacular, nothing you need to watch over and over again. Maybe if you're like having a party with friends and you're having like a bad movie night, you can put this on and laugh at it. But apart from that, there's really no reason for you to watch this again. Not the best, not the worst. Take it for what it's worth. I'd probably give it, like, I don't know, 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
So, that does it for yet another Ketchup review. Thank you, Anne, for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I love you.
Love you too.
Mwah.
He's recording at my house.
Yes, I have to, you know, whenever we do a crossover, I have to record at the guest's house. But how would you rank the movies from best to worst?
RocketMan, Shaft, Child's Play, Crawl, Godzilla.
For me, I would switch Child's Play and Shaft around. I liked Child's Play a lot more than Shaft. But I mean, I guess it's down to personal preference. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you again for joining me, babe. I love you.
I love you.
Be sure to subscribe to her channel. And be sure to stay subscribed to my channel, because I'm going to be going up to Chicago in a few days. And hopefully while I'm there, me and my mom will be able to do a Lion King review of the new 2019 live action one. So that should be fun. But yeah, apart from that, be sure to like, subscribe, tell me in the comments what you thought of any of these movies. Subscribe to my main channel, follow me on all my social medias, follow her on all of her social medias. All of that stuff will be in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Prepare for the greatest end screen song you will ever hear in your life. See you later.